to From the Sideline. This is the show that we've been waiting for all year. It is Super Bowl Sunday. That's right, Super Bowl 60 is taking place at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California at 6:30 Eastern. So don't miss it if you guys are tuning in tonight. I have my co-host Josh with me, and then Tony will be jumping in momentarily. We are here to discuss the Patriots versus the Seahawks. And Josh is very impartial today. He's wearing a ref's jersey because he doesn't have like any one of our jerseys, which I totally understand. So he's going to be impartial and he's going to be a ref, which we're going to go to him very soon with our picks. But if you guys don't know, the Seahawks and the Patriots did face each other in a Super Bowl thriller back in 2015. So a little bit of like tidbit information if you guys don't know the history about these two teams. Obviously, we got the rookie sensation Drake May versus we can call him the veteran now, Sam Darnold from the Seahawks. And we have two mics as the coaches for today's teams. We have Mike Vrabel, who's coaching the New England Patriots, versus Mike McDonald, who is coaching the Seattle Seahawks. And everybody's just talking about their defense because both these teams have the top four scoring offense and defense with standout defenders such as obviously CB, Christian Gonzalez from the New England Patriots, and Leonard Williams from the Seattle Seahawks. So we're here today to talk about our picks. Maybe we'll talk about some upsets if anybody actually thinks the Patriots have a chance against the Seahawks. Because if you guys didn't know about the betting lines, it's basically the Seahawks are up like 4.5 points or something like that above the Patriots in the betting line. So that's really huge. Obviously, you guys can see my getup. I'm a Patriots fan, of course. Josh is impartial. He's a Vikings fan. But like, I'm going to be very, very impartial in this analysis today. I'm not going to go just because my team's in the Super Bowl. I necessarily think they're going to win, and you guys will hear my pick in just a little bit. Josh, are you excited? Both of us are hosting the Super Bowl this year from both our houses. Like, this is a big deal for both of us, obviously, because football is our favorite team sport or sport of all time. So, like, why don't you just share a few, like, thoughts about what you think about this Super Bowl? You don't have to necessarily talk about your picks, but maybe, like, just the atmosphere and, like, everybody celebrating in America.
So, Colin, you brought up a little bit ago, this is going to be a rematch from the previous time when they already played, and going from crazy catch from who the receiver was at the time with bobbled catch towards the sideline ball. They caught him multiple times, and they got to the point where deciding crucially Marshawn Lynch to run the ball or not.
Yes.
Right there. Hearing from what coach or player it was, they were just talking about, it might even be the Seahawks coach now, that they said
it would have been Pete Carroll, probably, right? At the time.
It was Pete Carroll, but I'm talking about the coach now with the Seahawks.
Oh, Mike McDonald. Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Yeah. McDonald talking about, they didn't bring up that situation, but they described a random question. What would you do at the, if you guys were stopped the 1 yard or whatnot? And they, with like X amount of time left, they did say they would pass in that situation due to clock not honestly being on their side. Versus if they had run, they might get stopped and things have to go perfect to be able to run another play. And everybody, whoever did see that video was kind of like, you don't remember what happened last time. You refused to run the ball with beast mode, who's notorious for, beasting through, the line of scrimmage, and everybody who tries to tackle. It's rarely ever one man alone can stop him. At least takes two or three at a time. So, them throwing it back then with Malcolm Butler, who and the whole team studied. Okay, here's the setup. They practiced that play many times in practice, and that video has surfaced on how successful it was and why they were able to pounce on it so quick. It did help having what the corner was at the time, Browner, who was like 6'4" corner. Who was like 230 pounds, bullying people at the line of scrimmage to let that play develop the way it was. They don't have that this time around, but we'll see how it goes with Vrabel himself out of pretty much everybody on the Patriots with the sole Super Bowl experience. Kind of knows what
Yes.
it takes to get it done. With the preparation that takes into it, including I know there's I think audio and or video playing of them bumping a lot of Bad Bunny, preparing for super halftime and whatnot, and how
Of
they're going to stay
course.
mentally
Yeah.
focused and all that jazz. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, I'm curious to see how Mike McDonald handles the Patriots because they don't just have a top tier defense. Their offense is crazy. Obviously, we talk about their running game. We talk about their just the calls that Josh McDaniels makes for the Patriots. It's going to be interesting to see how Mike McDonald deals with that because a lot of people I feel like they're counting the Patriots out and I don't blame them only because the Seahawks are a very good team, but they shouldn't because the Patriots how I see it, Josh, is that they start off really slow. They start off losing, 10
Yeah,
nothing or something. It is true. We've seen the games, especially in the playoffs right now, and then all of a sudden it just they just balloon out and then they just start scoring and they make the really good calls especially when it comes to their offense and defense with Josh McDaniels and defense obviously they've always just had really good players on their defense so I'm excited to see what's going to happen. I think a lot of people are thinking it's just going to be a blowout. I think they're just going to think it's going to be a blowout with the Seahawks, and I don't think that's necessarily going to be a case. I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it's going to be a very low scoring game because the fact that we have two top tier defenses going at each other, it's going to be an exciting fact. So a little tidbit of information. Josh kind of alluded to what was happening in halftime. So, if you guys don't know who is headlining the halftime show, it is Bad Bunny, Mr. Puerto Rican himself, headlining the halftime show. We also have Charlie Puth, who's going to sing the national anthem. We have Brandy Charlie, I believe her name was that, is also doing America the Beautiful, and then Coco Jones as well. So, this is going to be a fun time. I hope everyone is having a good time prepping for the Super Bowl. I know I am. Josh, you're probably decorating your living room. I'm decorating my living room. I'm cooking all the food. I bought all the drinks. It's going to be a good time, both in Canada and the U.S. Whoever's watching the Super Bowl, it'll be a lot of fun. But one thing I want to talk about is who do you think, Josh, out of the two coaches, Mike Bravel, who, like you said, has the experience of being a Super Bowl champ before, versus Mike McDonald, who it just surprises everyone how good he's been coaching all throughout the year. Who do you think is going to prevail in the really crucial moments of the second half?
when it maybe comes to halftime adjustments, I'd probably say I would give that tip my hat to Vrabel on that one. Because they kind of piggyback what I said. Yeah, with him having the experience, him playing himself, knows what it's like to be up, what it's like to be down, what it's like to overcome an injury that might get everybody out of the mindset of the game because they're all so worried about their teammate, their friend, and the hard work takes into it, the mental game. Because a lot of times you have all the talent in the world, but it's all mental at the end of the day. So if your mental game ain't strong, your talent won't be able to equalize that. So the mental and determination, that's a big factor. So you coach does what you do, and you don't try to do your own thing. Try to be a hero of the day. Oh, it's a Super Bowl. All the shiny lights, everybody's watching. Oh, I got to make a play. Yes, big time players make big time plays in big time situations. But sometimes it might lead to doing too much, which therefore causes an error. So I think he'll be in their ear about that, especially got a young kid with May, second year in on, getting his head. All right, don't worry about kids. Deep breath. You played football before. It's no other time. Just play, have fun, limit the errors. And same thing with the defense. So trust that versus McDonald, really good play caller and really good with schematics, really good with schemes, and you know how to get people in the best situation to succeed in that situation. But with that, when you do have someone like Darnold, yes, he has a lot more experience than May. A lot of downside in his earlier years, but really come
Yeah.
into his own the past 2 years. But
Mhm.
with that notion of Sam doing Sam things, like
Yeah.
sometimes like makes really great plays that like will match up sometimes with the best of the best of their throws. He's had some of those. But at the same
Mhm.
time, Sam has the see and go side of
Mhm.
him too, where he starts to get flustered and whatnot. It's like
Yeah.
I figure I got to make a play, and that play ends up turning into a mistake. So,
Yeah.
but for the
Mhm.
point that you brought up, I will say Vrabel.
You will say Vrabel. The one thing I will say about Vrabel, and this is not me being like biased or anything, it's just that I've obviously watched more Patriots games than I've watched Seahawks games. And what I notice about Vrabel, especially Josh, and you could probably like, you know, agree with this point, is that he really talks to his players. Like you see them coming off the field or coming on the field, like he's there, just doing like a pep talk. He's there kind of like just being that support system that they need. And that's something that I think is going to be a game changer in the Super Bowl game because he has that kind of relationship, which I don't know if McDonald has with his players, but he has that relationship, especially with people like Drake May, Ramondre Stevenson, like Christian Gonzalez. He has that relationship with all these key players, which I feel like is going to make a major difference, heading into this game, trying to, you know, uh, ride this momentum of being in the Super Bowl. And this is Drake May's first Super Bowl. If you guys don't like, no one's following football and they're watching this podcast for the first time. He is a rookie quarterback, which I think, in my opinion, Josh, could be a good thing because he is very coachable.
I don't think
He
he's a
is.
rookie. I think this is his second year in.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Well, they call him the rookie quarterback just because he's a rookie, like coming into like Super Bowl or whatever. But I just
Yeah.
think he's very coachable. Like versus Sam Darnold, already. Like I'm not saying he already established any bad habits or anything, but it's gonna be hard to like take that away from him unless he's very coachable too. Again, I'm not very privy to a lot of the Seahawks games, so I'm not necessarily like obviously they make really good plays, they call really good shots, but I just think that like with the Patriots, they have that advantage to them with Drake May being so coachable, so young, so impressionable that he will listen to exactly what Josh McDaniel says. He will listen to exactly what Mike Vrabel says, and that's something that I don't know if Sam Darnold has that kind of relationship with his coach, like necessarily. But let's talk about the defense before Tony drops in, which he's coming in very very soon. Um, who do you think out of the both teams, and be honest, Josh, who do you think has the better defense out of the Patriots and the Seahawks?
All right, so let me backtrack a little bit, going back to the coach relationship. So I believe
Yeah.
both coaches have a really good relationship with their players.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
why they are at where they're at now. Because if they did trust, think of all the time, but if you don't trust the players, don't trust the coach, then it's a divided locker room, which they can't
Yeah.
be cohesive, which won't lead to success. So I believe they both have a relationship with the coaches. That's bar none. And that what made again kind of going over the second half thing, talk about Vrabel is that what he might have a slight advantage over because he used to be a player for that exact same team. So when you have a coach who understands the players and know what it takes about that, he's been through the grind, been through the blood, sweat, and tears and all that. So the players can relate to that, but at the same time, not bending your will and your stance, who you are as a person, to them, and that makes you look weak as a coach. So I'm going to support you. I know what it takes to get through this. I feel you.
Yeah.
Those take the right words to say at the right time. At the same time, verbally, I'm going to punch you in the mouth. At the same time, I'm going to show you some tough love because if a player starts to be like, "Oh, come on, coach, we're cool." Like, no, you're not being cool right now because you just messed up X, Y, Z. Love you,
Exactly.
but get it right. Get it together. But then leading into that, so again, Vrabel going on top of who has a better defense. He used to be a defensive guy, and sometimes kind of splash on offense a little bit when they want to use him a little trickery. So I would give that nod to, again, know what it takes. He used to play defense, and when a game has changed since he's last played.
You're kind of leaning towards one direction. I feel like so.
It's hard to say. So I like to say Vrabel because all the points I just brought up.
Yeah.
But despite that, pretty similar and on a way on paper. But I'd lean honestly towards the Seahawks because they constantly get after it. I feel like they don't always need to blitz to get a pass rush.
Correct. Yeah.
And they have solid DB core, especially you got. I could be wrong. I forgot who defensive rookie of the year was, but either way, Nick Umanwuri, who I said way earlier podcast start the season, that's who I wanted the Vikings to have.
Yeah,
but of course, he falls to the Seahawks, almost like a Legion of Boom 2.0. Who's big, fast, strong, intense. When I get no problem chirping his teammates that they're doing something stupid on the field, it's costing them air on the field. And he's a big factor in that. And you cover anybody with anybody. And like I said, their pass rush is solid. The linebacker core is pretty solid. DBs across the board are solid. Yep. I think when it comes to defense wise, I wouldn't say definitely, but I think again, slight tilt of the hat to the Seahawks. And I think they'll know how to get at the young QB of Drake May and make him feel uneasy in the pocket.
Yeah, 100%. I just feel like, especially in the beginning, like I said, the Patriots start off really slow, right? So in the beginning, I feel like we're gonna see a lot of mistakes happen. I have a feeling because it's Drake May's first Super Bowl, and he is considered the rookie compared to Sam Darnold in this case. It's just gonna happen that I just feel like there's gonna be a few mistakes. We might see a few sacks. I'm not being impartial. I'm being impartial here because I feel like I have to be realistic as a Patriots fan, and I just think that the Seahawks are gonna they called really good plays, especially their defense. That's why they got to this far into the Super Bowl. It's because of their defense and the plays that they made. But at the same time, I don't count out Josh McDaniels. If anything, I like Mike Vrabel. I'm not saying that he's not a really good coach, but I think Josh McDaniels, I'm surprised, Josh, that nobody has really gotten him off the Patriots pedestal as the OC. I'm surprised they make him HC, not just obviously they had Mike Vrabel. I'm saying for other teams trying to acquire a new HC, I would be surprised that they didn't go the Josh McDaniels route. What do you think about that? Don't you think he is especially in the last game with the Broncos, right? He is totally worthy of being called an HC of a team. What do you think about that?
I could be wrong, but I think he has had a few times where he has trying to go get head coach jobs. And it didn't pan out well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not suited for a head coach because it's a lot of responsibility. But I think he's best suited where he can solely focus on his craft, and that would be crafting out plays on the offense and being really good and tight with the QB and figuring out stuff together. And I figured that's where I think he's best suited. Not everybody's meant to be head coaches. Because you have that certain, kind of how we talk about players, that it factor about you too. You gotta want people to believe in you. Be true to yourself and be able to inspire players and the whole team, including your own coaching staff, even the fan base and the rest of the front. You got to be able to be a leader of everyone. Everyone has to buy into yes, even people, you might have players who might be close to the same age as you as the head coach. But even then, you want them to look up to you as a leader. Kind of like how when you got a young rookie QB calling plays in the huddle, you got 10 other guys looking back at you, who are going to be way older, way more experienced, have been through it all. You got to the point where they believe in you 100%. All right, got to put my faith in this dude. I'm going to ride with him and see where it gets us. And we're going to give him our all. Same thing with the coaches. So they got to make sure they buy into them. Everything we do. Some people just don't got that. And some people, like I said, just better suited as a complimentary role rather than the role.
Yeah, and speaking of which, you brought up rookie quarterback. Obviously, he's not a rookie, but he's technically a rookie in the Super Bowl. We're talking about Drake May. A lot of people, they're just so enamored by this rookie quarterback, this young quarterback. What made it like what is about him, Josh, that made it so he can make it to his first Super Bowl in like the second year of his career?
So from a player standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
if you used to play, and a coaching standpoint, because I coach now, I think a big factor in his just buying in. So
Yeah.
and he's like I say, he's young, so he's impressionable, but that could also be a good thing or a bad thing. So I put it as a good thing because they know he's young and whatnot, and can be molded into the way they want him to be, while still at the same time playing to his strengths and his abilities, and based on offense around him. Because a lot of times when teams will draft a player, they won't fit their scheme and try to make the player fit their scheme rather than scheme fitting in the player.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they're doing right with Drake May, knowing his pros and cons and trying to balance the team out around that. So with that, giving him a good solid core around him, right? So like want to give him some experience. People like know what to do in the situations. Like Ronnie Stevenson has some experience under the belt, knows what it takes in certain situations to help him in that situation. And then you got people like Stephon Diggs, right?
Yeah.
And then you got the tight ends, right? Still Henry.
Yeah.
So he's been around for a while too.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys have been around the game and know what it takes when it comes to down and distance and what it takes for each individual play. Because the game's a matter of inches, and everyone matters, especially in the game of a Super Bowl. Any mistakes it cost you, and so they know like, okay, cool, and then helping them like, practicing, knowing, okay, I've been around for a while, so it's having like a rookie quarterback, say like a rookie receiver, they're not going to be on the same page for quite some time.
No.
Will it pay off as they go on in the future? Yes, 100%. But we got experience, like the weapons I just brought up. Like, okay, that way they're always going to be consistent with how they run a route, at the speed they run a route, at the distance they run the route, because not all going to look the same. With the running backs, they'll know how to pick up a blitz if a play gets switched to that. They know, like, okay, sweet, I'm going to pick up a blitz from this side, or this side to help block for my quarterback, and that quarterback will have that trust in the receiving core and the running back. He's going to have that protection, and the receivers are going to be where they need to be exactly when they need to be it. If that route fails, this guy, an average, like 3 seconds to throw a ball. They know how to adjust the route and start playing back towards the quarterback or finding a hole in the defense with an option route. To be able to open that kind of thing up to help him succeed. So I think with this supporting cast that he has, with the experience, with Vrabel and being head coach, with the experience around him in offense, that's going to put him a great opportunity to have a lot of success.
Yeah, and I honestly think that, like I said, maybe about 5-10 minutes like into the show, that I thought that Drake May is gonna have the nerves. He will, because like this is his first Super Bowl. We're gonna see it in the first half. Like we're gonna see all of the mistakes happen. We're gonna see the nerves, and then all of a sudden, hopefully, as a Patriots fan, I want to see the Patriots rise and shine above the Seahawks. But what I'm gonna do now, before we have Tony jump on, because I think he's gonna jump on in just a little bit, is Josh, what do you think it's going to take for the Seahawks to win, and what do you think it's going to take for the Patriots to win the Super Bowl?
Right. So, like I said, defense wins championships, right? Pretty much every Super Bowl that's ever came across has always been a really good defense, right? At the very least, a great player at each position, right? A great player at safety, a great player maybe at corner and or linebacker, and a great player or two on the defensive line. Not always might be stacked across the board. Both teams have that. Like I said, consistency with experience. Man, I got a lot of topics with that. So
yeah.
All right. So I got a few points here, reasons why I feel like the Patriots will have success and win. Right. So they got, like I already brought up, the solid receiving core from the tight ends, the receivers, and the running backs. Be able to great support, know where they need to be at all times. And then having like I said, a solid running game too, with a 1-2 combo. A lot of teams have switched that center to full on bell cow, where they get worn and torn over time, but they can fresh legs and keep people going. will usually smash and dash. One person's usually the muscle, and the other person usually the super fast, shifty guy who's really good at catching out of the backfield. I feel like both think that they have both the running backs are good at doing both those things. And they said good defense. Their kicker's pretty solid too. And then I said Drake May. I feel like he might get some nerves going on, but I think at the same time he's pretty cool, calm, and collected, which I feel like his team appreciates that too. When he does throw an interception, he does fumble, he's not wetting himself on the sideline. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why May win this game. So with Sam Darnold,
May win this game. I love that. Anyways, right. Keep going.
So it can reason for success for the Seahawks. I got here. I said struggled a little bit throughout the career. Probably also didn't have the best coaching year. Let's be honest. Who they had to deal with. And then I think with the Vikings, right last year, learning from known as the QB whisperer of the NFL, right? Especially when it comes to experience, guys who's at least been around for a little bit, knows how to get the best out of them. So I think him learning from that, Seahawks, Mike McDonald knowing, okay, seeing what went right with the Vikings, seeing went wrong with him on the Vikings, and knowing his struggles in the past. All right, cool. We know we wanted him. Let's go get him. I can turn his strengths into more strengths and his cons. I'm going to limit that. And then they got the never quit run game. So a lot of times, which kind of also falls to the Viking, which didn't help Sam, and much like other teams too. If a run game isn't working right off the bat, they're going to quit. So instead of having an even game, right? Say you have 25 pass attempts and at least 25 rush attempts, you're not going to have a balanced game, and the team's able to know that. And they're going to pounce on that. Oh, cool. We're going to play one-dimensional. Sweet. We're going to play our more DBs. We're going to have just our normal pass rush to go get you. And we're going to make your life, HE double hockey sticks, right? So they got that game, and they don't give up. So if they do get stopped, time in and time out, they're like, cool, we're going to stay committed to the game, and it pays off, which just helps Sam, because that way they don't stack the box towards the line of scrimmage, make teams start playing more back, and therefore – now they'll start dashing, and now the teams will start coming up. Then they'll start loading the box, what makes it easier for screens. They'll make it more for play action passes, deeper downfield, all that stuff. And then have that receiver to complement that. Then a more receiver than the NFL with JSN. It's helping him tremendously. And then, like I said, really good defense. Will help that out. And good special teams on top of that. So went from May win this game to Sam Darnold from seeing ghosts to maybe riding the floats after today.
Yeah, no, thanks, Josh. Welcome, Tony, to our show. He is our head chief, Mr. Plus, Hefe, as we like to call him. And welcome to our Super Bowl show. We were just talking about what it's going to take for the Patriots to win, and then what it's going to take for the Seahawks to win. And then we'll do our picks right after. So, Tony, do you have any thoughts on both teams and what it's going to take for both them to win against each other in the Super Bowl?
Well, with Seattle's the easy one. And can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm getting...
Oh, yeah, you're good, man. Yeah.
From the Seattle side, as good as their defense has been all season, there's been moments where they aren't as good as we think they are. Yep. And then these other moments where I'm like, no, they're really, really good. So if they're going to win, if Seattle's going to win, no offense to Sam Darnold, it's going to be the defense. If the defense plays as well as they have played in those spots that we've seen all season, then Seattle, I've picked Seattle because I'm upset about the matchup, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so that's what Seattle needs to do. Sam Darnold just can't lose it for them, and the defense needs to play to what we expect them to be, which hasn't always been the case. And it's exactly the opposite for the Patriots. Drake, May. I think I got that. Drake. He hasn't played well against good defenses. Everyone, listen, they've been getting the wins, and Patriots fans will tell you, you're wearing a Patriots jersey, so I don't know if I'm going down the wrong path here with you. It's
okay, no worries, man.
he has been good all season. He has been great all season. He has not played well against good, really good defenses. again, they've won the games, so you don't hold it against him. But if you actually watch the games, I'm not just talking statistically, although you can look at that too. Drake May's going to have to win the game for the Patriots. So I think Seattle's defense would have to win it. Drake May has to put on a performance to where we go, wow, maybe Seattle's defense isn't as good as we thought. That's what he's going to have to do for the Patriots to win.
Yeah, so Tony, in that case, like you mentioned, and I'm totally being impartial when it comes to this. I've seen the games. I've seen it against Texans. I've seen it against Broncos.
I know that you two look like you're on the same side. You got the Patriots and the ref, right? So it is two against.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm wearing the Seattle.
It's funny. And so, but I didn't put two and two together. No, I'm just wondering because, like, even though you said, like, he hasn't performed well against really good defenses, but he just, like, he wins the game at the end. So do you think it has to do with anything with Josh McDaniels and his play calling, like, towards the second half? Because I feel like that's a huge game changer, especially when it came to the Broncos game. That, like, besides the weather conditions and all that, we can talk about that in a little bit. But I just feel like, with Josh McDaniels having him as, like, their OC, it makes a huge difference, in those moments where he really needs to win the game. So what do you think about that? Like what I just said.
Bill Belichick and now Mike Vrabel have benefited and possibly cursed by having coaches that are really, really good coordinators. And they've all been given shots at being head coaches and it didn't work. Some guys are just really, really good coordinators. And I'm going to say this with love and respect to my friend because he is a friend of mine. Like a great example of it is my friend Hugh Jackson, who was like, a phenomenal offensive coordinator. Like he got 1,000 yards receiving out of a quarterback, Terrell Pryor. Like he turned a quarterback into 1,000-yard receiver. One offensive coordinator of the year with the Bengals. For whatever reason, I don't think the Raiders really gave him enough chance. He won one season. It was 8-8. The Browns, well, the Browns are going to ruin anybody. But they were on a thing, I guess, where they were really getting into like the money ball and the analytics, and they were trying to do some stuff and said, hey, they always paid him to lose, essentially, without getting too deep into it. He never really was a great head coach in the NFL, but no one will argue how great of a coordinator he was. So now to answer your question, yes, Josh McDaniels is that type of guy, that he is that good of a coordinator that those little tweaks he makes in the second half might not look great on the stat sheet, but they'll get that down they need. It'll get that, a field goal. People don't realize, get a field goal. Like, listen, you see the Bears here, right? If the Bears take 2 field goals against the Rams instead of going for both of them on 4th down, they probably win that game. Probably. He's the type of coordinator that can be like, hey, all we need is 17 yards to get a field goal. So let's not try to get a touchdown and screw it up. And so those are the things that win those close games. So yeah, 100%. He can make a difference in the second half for sure.
Mm-hmm. And one word. Go ahead, Josh. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. The field goal thing. People don't realize how important a field goal is to the confidence of a team. So you might go down there, you might have a high-powered offense, or maybe not. But either way, going down, sure, you might want to get a touchdown or whatnot. That's great. That's all cherries on top. But the field goal, wasn't what you wanted, but at the same time, you feel like you walked away with something and keep that confidence in your team. Like, hey, we got some points on the board. Wasn't 7, but we got 3. We know what to learn from the next time.
Well, just think about it. As disheartening as it is to, hey, we thought we could get 7, but we settled for 3. Well, what happens when you go for it on 4th down and get stopped and you get nothing? Exactly. Well, now that changes the dynamic, because not only have you gone from 7 to 0, the defense is like, we won. Whereas, okay, we settled for the field goal. They feel like, okay, we slowed them down. We didn't win. We didn't hold them to nothing. We slowed them down. The offense, though, is still, hey, now I'm seeing 3 on the board. And those, in 1-2-point games, field goal here, a field goal there. Like, how many times do we say, that kicker, we'll blame the kicker. He missed that easy 37-yarder in the first quarter, and we lost by 2. That wasn't really the reason you lost, but you'll go back to that first quarter missed field goal or an extra point, and you're like, that was the difference in the game.
Yeah, for sure, guys.
Right? It makes a difference if you get them, for sure.
Yeah, and then there's one question that I asked Josh before you jumped on, Tony, was which defense is the better defense between the Seahawks and the Patriots, if you got to pick one?
Ooh.
That's a good one, right? Yeah.
I would say playing at their best, I would say Seattle's defense is better.
Yep.
But I think the Patriots defense has been more consistent. So if you were to say who's been the better defense,
okay, I got you.
I
Yeah,
think the Seahawks have a higher ceiling, but a lower floor, whereas the
yes.
Patriots have a little bit lower ceiling, but a little bit higher floor.
Yeah. They're like right there. Yeah, I got you.
Seattle has the capability of being better, if that's the. But I think,
yes,
that's how close it is. Like I think the Patriots might their defense might be underrated a little bit. How good it is for people who are not watching football all the time. They might not realize how good this defense is. Yeah, because they come out. A coach makes a huge difference, right? People, I remember when, and I always forget everybody's name, so you guys will tell me who his name is. When the first year that I think it's Dan Campbell, the head coach of the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Dan Campbell? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The first season he came in and like you had guys saying, "I'd run through a wall for that guy." Mike Vrabel has the same type of impact, right?
Mm-hmm.
So emotional and such a player's coach that I think a lot of his players play above their ability for him, and that's what makes them good. Not to say it's not true in Seattle as well.
Yeah,
I think Seattle's just more talented.
No, I understand like what you're talking about, Tony, because when I mentioned this to Josh in the beginning of the show, I pretty much said kind of like what you did, and I said like Mike Vrabel has that, like he is that support system for his players. He is that person that will go and pep talk you before the game, after the game, during halftime. Like he's always there. He has that relationship with Christian Gonzalez, Drake May, Stefan Diggs, and like Raymond Stevenson. So like it's just very like I feel like that makes a huge difference, especially what Josh was saying too, that Mike Vrabel is one of the, like, out of the both coaches, he has the experience playing in a Super Bowl before, and that, in my opinion, is going to serve him, like maybe hopefully in the second half. Like obviously, me hoping as a Patriots fan, but I think that's very important. So, like, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely correct. Like saying, hey, this is what to expect. Like he did something at practice the other day that some people would be like, big deal. It is a big deal. Like he literally had them playing Bad Bunny over the speakers while they sat in the locker room for 14 minutes to simulate, hey, this is what it's going to be like at halftime. You're going to hear, this music playing, and they're going to be having a party out on the field, and you got to be in here getting focused and making adjustments if needed for what we're going to do in the second half. People don't realize that. Like I remember years ago, the first time someone played like crowd noise over loudspeakers, and everyone's like, "That dude's crazy." Now everyone's like, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea." Like
that's smart.
So I think that gives them the edge on that side. Absolutely.
That's a huge mental preparation. As a former player myself, and when I coach, like, obviously a big factor because like it's kind of broad. It's a party, much like a mullet, right? It's a party in the front, business in the back, or vice versa. Right? So they're gonna have that kind of approach to it, right? Yeah. So then, like, also, like, I remember like playing back in college. We would kind of be like, all right, cool. What's our forecast? It's gonna be rainy. Cool. So we're gonna have you guys' jerseys. We're gonna practice with wet jerseys. We're gonna dunk the footballs and buckets of water. We're gonna play like that. And kind of same preparation. It's like, all right, cool. There'll be a bunch of distractions, loud crowd noises, banging. Shoot, the stadium might be shaking even, right? You guys have like, all right, party out there, but guys, we gotta lock in. Right now, this is a business trip. Party after we win, but right now it's a business trip. Time to lock in. Here's going through it. And like I said, running through a wall, getting them fired up, motivated, but not fake motivated. Because anybody could fake it, right? Faking to be inspired, fake to be inspired, fake confidence. Want to be real dogs at the end of the day will come out with confidence and their ability, and at the same time, believe in what they're going to do and play discipline.
Yeah. Okay, guys, this is the time of the show where we get to the nitty gritty and we talk about what we really came here to talk about, which is who's going to win the Super Bowl this year. And today at 6:30 at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, California. I'm going to go last because I am obviously wearing a Patriots jersey, but you might be surprised at what I'm going to say. So I'm going to go to Josh first. Josh, come on. What is your ultimate pick for the Super Bowl?
All right. I think both teams, they're all going to make mistakes. I think both quarterbacks are going to throw an interception. I think at least one running back is going to fumble. I believe both teams are going to miss field goals. I believe all that's going to happen on both sides of the ball. But I think with that, despite how much both teams have faced adversity and whatnot, especially as one quarterback, Sam has been punched in the mouth, been dragged through the mud, and seen ghosts. But I think they'll walk out victorious because he doesn't flinch. I think, like I brought up earlier, I think go from seeing ghosts to being on floats after winning the Super Bowl.
Okay, I love that. And is that
you said Patriots? Did I hear that correctly?
no? I think it's the Seahawks you picked.
Seahawks? My bad.
Yeah, and I can see what Tony's wearing the green from the Seahawks, so I guess there's a clear winner for him. But I don't know, maybe he's gonna falter and come over to my side, to the dark side. Tony, who do you think's gonna win?
I'm going to give you three answers. Because I had this set up from 2 months ago, my answer, which was 27-24 with a last-second desperation touchdown by the Bears beating the Patriots. Unfortunately, the Bears screwed it up and didn't make the 40th anniversary of the last Bears win in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, which was 40 years ago. 46-10 that game. So I had already had my speech about how Caleb Williams was going to throw a last-second touchdown to win it 27, down 24-20. They win it 27-24. So that's not going to happen. So I'm also going to contradict myself because on my last show, everybody picked Seattle. So I was the contrarian. I said, okay, I'll change my pick and I will pick the Patriots, and here's why. But only because everybody else picked the Seahawks. This time I'm going to give you my real answer, which is I have the Seahawks defense that I mentioned has that higher ceiling, playing to that higher ceiling. They're on the West Coast. I'm an NFC guy, so I think we're going to see. And I apologize to you right off the bat because you're not going to like what you're saying. I think we're going to see. I think we're going to see all those little chinks in the Drake May armor that we've kind of seen I think you're going to see it a lot. I think the moment and the defense might be a little too much for him. It doesn't mean he's not going to turn into a better quarterback. I just think he is going to be the reason they lose, or Seattle's defense is going to be the reason they win. You can pick which one.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Seattle's defense, ends up being too much. And I think Sam Darnold, as much as I said I don't think he's the guy that's going to win it, he should have a chip on his shoulders. He's been on 17 NFL teams. Everyone told him he was done. He was trash. He was garbage. He was nothing. And now he's playing in a Super Bowl. So I like guys when they have that chip on their shoulder. I think he's going to have a better game than people expect.
Yeah. So it's funny because
no one's rooting for Stephon Diggs to get a Super Bowl. Let's be honest.
I know. Yeah, I know a lot of, especially Josh. You should tell Tony the story that you told us about Stephon Diggs.
All right, so I'll try and make it quick. So I'm mutual friends with somebody who plays in the Vikings. Every year will bless me with sideline passes to be on the field during those times. Well, they had like a joint practice with the Patriots past season
before, but keep going.
Yeah. So then, because like I was there at the Minneapolis Miracle, right, where he was pretty much the big contributor for the Minneapolis Miracle. So my buddy got me the newspaper that day. I've held it on since then. My buddy bought me a Vikings jersey of Stephon Diggs. Sweet. If I ever get the opportunity, I'm gonna try to get his autograph. Well, X amount of years later, aka this past year, I'm like, oh, buddy blessed me with some sideline passes. Stephon Diggs gonna be there. I'm like, oh, I'm bringing my stuff. I'm like, this is gonna be cool. I'm gonna frame it, take care of it, all that. Practice gets done. Figuring out my buddy. Hey, appreciate it. Good seeing you, bro. All the awesome practice. Say hi to his family. And then see Dick start coming on. I'm like, my guy, I'll be right back. I go. I'm like, hey, Stephon Diggs, man. Great to see you. I'm like, would you mind if I trouble you for an autograph? I kid you not. This man looked me dead in my eye, right? Scanned me up and down. He said, in Parma language, sorry, guy. Oh, he's like, I ain't signing that shit. And ran off.
Yeah.
I'm like,
come on.
What? I'm like,
are we surprised, guys? Come on. Are we actually surprised that that's Stephon Diggs?
Right? I'm cool if it gets like, nah, man, I ain't signing that. I don't play for him. I'll be like, that's cool. Respect.
Yeah, like there's nicer ways to say like, oh, I don't do autographs. I'm sorry, but really appreciate your support. Thank you. Right? Like there's ways of not doing it better than that.
Yeah, which is different because I've had an account with him before because I used to work at a restaurant out here in Duluth, Minnesota, where him and a few other players were just walking around and the little event, I forgot what it was called. But yeah, him just walking through the restaurants, being super cool, friendly with everyone, and even being bartenders. We shouldn't have done that. I'm not going to mention the restaurant because that's legal. But they were all being bartenders and kind of having fun with that kind of stuff. So how he was then, how he is now, definitely big. I think
they just caught him on a bad day, but there you go. All right, so we got 2-0 Seahawks. I wonder what I wonder who you're picking.
No, okay. So I like I said, I try to stay impartial on this show and then like any of my sports picks. But I love the Patriots. I've always loved the Patriots ever since I was like 18 and started watching them, in the playoffs and stuff like that. But I I think you're right, Tony, and I'm gonna like pick. I know. I'm gonna cheer for them with my whole heart, and I'm going to like try to see if Drake May can pull out a miracle. But I honestly think the defense is way too much for them from the Seahawks. I can't like I'm not gonna be one of those Patriots fans that are like, oh, but we're like 6 rings under, like we're gonna win another one. I'm like, no, like but you have to stop that defense. Like that's going to be really, really tough. I don't know if we have the resources to do that. We might. We have a really great coach. We have a really great offensive coordinator, and our defense is pretty stellar. So I know it's going to be a really tight race. It's going to be a really tight game. It's going to be I think it's going to be low scoring in my opinion, just because of the defenses going at each other and like Drake May. I was telling Josh from the beginning. I thought he's going to have nerves. He's gonna we're gonna see mistakes from both quarterbacks, but we're gonna see it mainly from Drake May, especially in the beginning where the Patriots start off really slow in a lot of the playoff games that I've seen so far. And I just think that it just might be too much for him. I think the O-line is gonna be like, I didn't see this coming. I just think it's gonna be one of those situations. It's gonna be a tight race. It's gonna be a really close game, but I do have the Seahawks winning against the Patriots, and that's something I thought I would never say being a Patriots fan, but I don't want to set myself up for failure, in a case where we're facing against one of the best, if not the best defense in the league right now. So I'm going to pick the Seahawks and
Patriots then.
You can't do that, Tony.
Whatever I want.
That's true. Yeah, we can't stop you. But okay, but we have to admit that both teams have different qualities that are going to make or break them in this game. It's pretty obvious, right? Like Tony and Josh said it perfectly. Like the Seahawks, it's their defense that's going to win the game. For the Patriots, it's Drake May and the offensive line and everything that's going to win the game for us. But I don't know, man. It's funny because when Josh told me that story about Stephon Diggs, I'm just like, crap, I can't believe he's on my team. So ridiculous. And it's just kind of disheartening, unfortunately. And I'm so sorry, Josh, you have to be the get the short end of that stick, but it is what it is. But it sucks because I want to pick the Patriots so bad, guys, and and a lot of you guys had really good points of how they can win this game, but it's just that I think, like Tony said, the ceiling at which the Seahawks defense can go up to is going to surpass anything the Patriots have. And we might be wrong. Maybe the second half will. I think this is what my prediction is. The first half, Seahawks are going to dominate. Second half, we'll see what happens with Vrabel and the Patriots and what's going to transpire at halftime to really get them to get past the Seahawks.
From a game flow, mm-hmm. I think you're right. I think the Seahawks the first half will be for sure them dominating, but the difference is, if they dominate but don't put up points, so they dominate but they're only up 13-7.
3 points. Yeah.
Then that's where the Patriots will have a chance. If they dominate where they're getting turnovers and the defense, and then Sam Darnold's going out there and they're scoring points and they're up, 10, 12, 15. I don't think the Patriots will then come back from a 21-point deficit. So, but if they withstand that first half kind of dominance by the Seahawks and they're close, then that's their road to winning. That's their road to winning, is keeping it close for the second half. So
I think if the Patriots capitalize and minimize JSN, I think that's a great way
for sure. 100%. Yeah.
Dare them to throw to them. Some people consider nobodies on the team, right?
Yes.
Outside of JSN. So I think if they lock him down, double cover him, and can play man coverage maybe across the rest of the board and do some schematics of blitzes and with the coverages and whatnot. I think that gives them a great opportunity for sure. But then Stephon Diggs, he's pretty savvy with his route running. That's what kind of got into his own when he was with the Vikings, but somehow fell into the 5th round with Maryland, coming from there. But I think that'd be a big factor for sure.
Yeah, Tony, are you hosting the Super Bowl like me and Josh are? Are you going to someone's house for the Super Bowl?
It's right here.
Solid. Okay, look, all 3 of us hosting the Super Bowl.
We're running around all morning, and why I'm kind of watching my clock. Like I gotta get some. Get stuff going.
No, I get it. Yeah, I'm cooking all the food. I bought all the drinks. I'm decorating my living room. I gotta blow up a bunch of balloons in like just a little bit, and I have to cook the nachos because we gotta have nachos for like Super Bowl Sunday. But
guys, we do a lot of cooking here too, and the missus is helping a lot with that cooking too. So much food going on here; it's crazy. I hope people come on.
It's a lot of food.
Funny you mentioned the nachos because we were out to dinner a few nights ago, and my wife says to the kids, "Hey, do you guys want to start with some nachos?" And my son, my kids are, I have twin boy girl, they're 11, and my son says, "Nachos? No, nachos. We're gonna have those on Sunday." She goes, "What are you talking about? We're having nachos." And she's like, "Oh, I didn't realize I guess I'm making nachos."
Nachos,
that's great.
Yeah, you got that,
guys. We gotta break down. We have 5 minutes left. Let's break down what is on the platter for Super Bowl. I will start first because I'm cooking all the food. The main attraction is obviously chicken wings. You gotta have chicken wings 2 ways. You gotta have them honey, garlic, and barbecue. A little bit spicy, a little bit tangy and sweet. And then we have the fry supreme, as I like to call it, which is like Taco Bell style fries, ground beef, tomatoes, green onions, sour cream, cheese sauce. The whole shebang is gonna be dope. I'm so excited. And then we got the nachos, but they're not just plain nachos. They have shredded chicken in there, a little bit of marinated chicken and some jalapenos and some cilantro, a lot of like shredded cheese. That's what I'm doing for Super Bowl. Josh, what are you and the missus cooking up for Super Bowl?
All right, so I'm gonna flip this around real quick. So on here, I'm bringing about.
Oh my god, it's like real food right here. Oh my god.
So that is a little snack stadium.
What is that? Oh my god, it's so cute.
Yeah, so little snack stadium.
I'm so jealous right
kind of expensive online. So I have like a plethora.
Fill each one of the compartments with something. Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
And I bought a little mini Super Bowl trophy and whatnot. So got a plethora of chips and dips. I'm gonna be over here. Behind me will be another platter. Yep. So we'll have a bunch of flavors of chicken wings and hot. So we'll have chicken with buffalo barbecue and Mrs. Fur favorite lemon pepper wings.
Wow.
Do that.
Okay.
And then,
lemon pepper dry rub that's my thing. Is that what you got there? Yeah.
Pretty much. But then she's we're gonna mix with like fresh lemon juice and zest and some butter. We're gonna toss it into it and make it a little bit more wet. And then we got her mom's bringing.
Hey, give her this. Give her this. She could try it. Okay. Take lemon pepper. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then in a bowl, depending on how spicy she wants it, I typically go medium, but you can go mild, medium, hot, whatever. Get like, let's say I'll use mine. So go medium hot sauce with Caesar dressing. 50-50, just mix it together and then dip the lemon pepper in it. When it comes to food,
look at that, man.
I'm pretty sure she's watching live upstairs of this right now. But either way, I'll bring them to her regardless.
I do it even when I'm out. I order lemon pepper and I go bring me some mild sauce and Caesar dressing on the side, and I mix it. They see me at the table just like mixing up this concoction. Like, what is that? I've had people try it and they're like, "Oh, that's good." I'm like, "Yeah, it is."
I'm gonna try. Okay, absolutely. And then she got like buffalo chicken dip she's making too. Like I said, different variety of hot dogs. I have a whole drink menu at the bar. One beer is called like the Patriots. One beer is called Seahawks. And then my
That's
famous
so cool.
All that jazz. So it'll be a good time.
Wow, Tony, what are you making for Super Bowl?
You guys kind of knocked it all. It's wings, it's ribs, it's chips, it's dip, it's nachos. It's just everything you mentioned. Just that's pretty much what we do every year. Kind of a standard. There will be a veggie tray. Someone will bring a veggie tray.
What the hell is that, man? I'm kidding.
Somewhere. If someone has a wing that's too hot, they'll grab a carrot stick, just to cool them down.
Yeah. I didn't even bother with the veggie tray, guys. Like I'm not like we're
there's always that one. There's only that one person,
Yeah.
You gotta look out for them.
My co-host on Fluent and Chilltown Hoops is a vegan, right? So I always got to be aware.
Hopefully he's not watching this, but hopefully he is at the same time. But I wanted to thank Josh and Tony for being on the show today. That is our Super Bowl show. We have 3-0 Seahawks picks. That's right. So anybody is, I know Tony's like, maybe I want to like change it up.
I'm gonna Drake maybe. Super Bowl.
Change
it to the Patriots.
Okay.
Well, the
I bet
Seahawks
you in like 2 hours, he's going to change it back to
time.
Seahawks. Yeah, exactly.
Have to get down the 1 yard line.
I'm going to go put on a blue hoodie.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you to my co-host, and hopefully we get another one of these rings for the Patriots today. And we will see you guys next time on From the Sideline. Thank you, guys.
Oh, Canada. Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother.
It means nothing. It means nothing.
Nah, they lying to you. It's about the money.
Now you're more fluent.